So I just finished watching the Fallout show. I literally just finished it. And while I am planning to do a review of it, I just want to give my impressions at the end, just roughly. I'm not going to elaborate much on every point, but it's to give you guys an idea of what this actually is. I am honestly in awe. I actually am, because while I understand how some people might like Fallout 4, even still to this day, while I understand how some people might just say, oh, it's just a show, I found it entertaining, I really don't get it. You see, by this point, you've probably heard about people saying that the Fallout show retcons New Vegas, and it doesn't just retcon New Vegas, it retcons Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas, and in some ways you could argue 3 as well. You see, the bad plot and retcon of this show isn't just a retcon because Emil and whoever else was involved is a shit writer, and they're shit writers. You see, one impression I got throughout this show, watching these 8 episodes, pirated, of course, because I refuse to give Amazon money, is that a lot of the retcons and contradictions to the games are deliberate. No, really, they are deliberate. You might have heard the rumor that the NCR are just raider gangs now, is just a raider gang. No, on the contrary, it's actually worse, much worse than you think. The fuck-ups really were deliberate. They really wanted to ruin everything that wasn't Bethesda Fallout. Go to the Fallout wiki right now, get a list of things that the NCR wasn't, and that's what the NCR is turned into. That's what it is. One of the main plot drivers, if you can call it that, of this show is revealed right in the first episode, right? There's a conflict that happens right in the first episode, and once you get to episode 8 and you realize what it is, once you realize what the plan was with that conflict that happens at the start of the show, it's so bad. It's legitimately so bad. I couldn't believe it. I legitimately couldn't believe it. Let me put it like this. The entire plot of the Fallout show is driven by something that didn't happen just because it was convenient for it not to. Even though it really should have. If you're going to watch the show, you're going to notice it immediately. You're going to know immediately what I'm talking about. And if you're not going to watch it, well then, you don't get spoiled for the review that's coming up, because holy fucking shit. And you might just be thinking, well, if you turn your brain off, it's an entertaining show, it's a good show. Well, no, it really isn't. There are writing and editing mistakes that I don't make in my videos, and mind you, I don't write scripts. I write bullet points. The characters are fucking, with one exception, and you'll know immediately who it is, but the characters, with one exception, are a fucking abomination. They don't make any sense. They don't act how they should. The pacing is fucking horrendous. It's actually horrendous. Scenes that should be developed aren't, and scenes that shouldn't be developed are. Characters, established characters that should act in a certain way, act the exact opposite way than how they should. When it comes to editing, it's so unfathomably bad. Like, you know how in Fallout you have a Geiger counter, right? There you hear the radiation noise. Well, when you're next to the character that has the Pip-Boy that is emitting the radiation noise, the Geiger counter noise, you hear the audio in a certain way, right? Like how you would expect. There's a sound effect of the Geiger counter. But then the camera pans out, like really far away and off to the side, and it continues with the exact same volume and from the exact same point, origin point, even though it should be coming from the side. Just basic fucking editing things that you really should get over. And speaking of editing, the CGI in this show makes me wonder what the budget was, because, oh my god, the CGI in this show, there's this one scene, it's pretty bad, sometimes it's doable, acceptable, other times it's pretty bad, but there's this one scene where I actually had to look away. I actually had to look away because it was hurting my eyes. You know when you try a photo editing app for the first time and you just slam in every effect? Well, yeah, that's exactly what it was, because it hurt. Oh my god. And then you might just be saying, well, despite all that, it was an entertaining show. I really liked it. You might think that if you just turn your brain off, it can be enjoyed. I was saying that. You could just turn your brain off and enjoy it, but no, you really can't. Because even in moments where you're supposed to be enjoying it, you're supposed to be, I don't know, a tense moment, it's ruined by the worst humor I think I've ever seen in Fallout history. At all. The worst humor I have ever seen at all. Fucking ever. You'll have tense moments where you're actually like, ooh, oh, what's gonna happen here? Ruined by jokes, turning characters into jokes, or haha sex. Yes, that's the extent of 99.9% of the humor in this fucking show. Such as the waterfall scene. If you know what it is, then you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, don't look it up. Just trust me. I know you're curious now that I've mentioned the waterfall scene, and you might be wondering, what the fuck could I be talking about? No, you don't want to know. Trust me, you don't want to know. You have no reason to look it up right now. You should wait until my review, and even still, you're probably gonna skip it if you get to that point in the review. And even when there is a tense moment that you're actually on the edge of your seat over it, you're actually enjoying it, it's abruptly just cut. It's just abruptly cut. Because fuck you, that's why. If you want a TLDR on what I think of this show, I think it's fucking abysmal, and I am genuinely shocked, in awe, at how there are so many fucking people out here telling me that it's a good show, telling me that they enjoyed it, that if you just turn off your brain, it's an enjoyable show. I'm sorry, we didn't watch the same show, did we? We did not watch the same fucking show, because if we had, then maybe I'd see a lot of the criticisms being raised. Of course, a lot of the YouTubers saying that they liked it are either shills or people who are just saying that they liked it because it gets them views. This show has succeeded in making people play Fallout for the first time, and you know what? I think this is going to be a Fallout 4 situation where people are going to look at the show, say, oh yeah, they definitely enjoyed it, they're definitely not lying there, they definitely enjoyed it, then they're going to go play actual Fallout games that aren't Fallout 4, because that game is not a Fallout game, and they're going to realize, oh wait, this show is kind of shit. It's going to be a Fallout 4 situation where people are going to, in a few months or years' time, realize that it was actually shit. Fuck this show, fuck the writers, fuck the directors, fuck the producers, and fuck everyone saying that it's an actual good Fallout show. I can't stop you from enjoying it or saying you enjoyed it, but what I can do is highlight the problems with it, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Consider this a mini trailer, if you will, for the upcoming review of the Fallout TV show. And if you're one of those tourists that's going to come in here, deny immediately everything I've said, not even get 30 seconds or a minute into the video, you're probably not even watching this part, then much like the Starfield fanboys and the fucking Dragon's Dogma 2 microtransaction defenders, you're just someone who knows that they're wrong, but is too touristy to fucking admit it. Thank you guys for watching.